All right, let's dive into one of the biggest headaches for IELTS students. Getting stuck. Specifically, how do you break past that dreaded 6.5 in writing and finally get the Band 7 you need?
Does this sound familiar? You study, you practice like crazy, you get your results, and 6.5 again. I know how frustrating that is. You're so close, but it just feels like there's an invisible wall. Well, today, we're going to tear that wall down.
Here's the secret. Getting from a 6.5 to a 7 isn't some kind of magic trick. It's really about two things: having a big picture strategy and then executing the tiny little details with absolute precision. Get those two things working together and you're golden.
So, first things first, let's zoom out and look at that big picture. We're going to borrow a fantastic 7-step framework from the experts at E2 IELTS. Think of this as your roadmap to success. It's the high-level plan that's going to guide everything else you do.
And here it is, simple, right? 1. Know the rules. It sounds obvious, but you'd be surprised. 2. Be original. No more memorized robotic phrases. 3. Get real expert feedback. 4. Read a ton. It's how you absorb good writing. 5. Practice, of course. 6. Have a plan. And 7. Stop believing all those crazy myths out there. This right here, this is your game plan.
And speaking of being original, this is a perfect example of what not to do. Examiners see this exact opening sentence, or something just like it, 100 times a day. It's boring, it's a template, and it screams, "I don't have my own ideas." A Band 7 writer grabs their attention with something fresh right from the start.
Okay, so you've got the roadmap. But just having the map doesn't mean you know how to drive the car, right? The big steps are crucial, but they're not enough. Now we're going to zoom all the way in. We're going to look at one tiny, specific grammar rule that can make all the difference.
Welcome to the deep dive. This is all about that micro-precision. We're going to grab something directly from step 1 on our roadmap, know the rules, and look at a tiny detail that trips up so many 6.5 writers. Articles. You know, a, and the.
If you take one thing away from this, let it be this. This is the golden rule for articles. Seriously, write it down. If a noun is singular and you can count it, like one job, one book, one idea, it cannot ever just stand there by itself. It needs a little buddy, like a, the, my, or this. This one rule is a game changer.
And here it is in action. You can count jobs, right? So you can't just say, "I want job." It feels incomplete. It needs that partner word. I want a job, any job, or I want the job, that specific one we talked about. This is one of the clearest signals that separates a 6.5 from a 7.0 writer. Okay, so you get the golden rule. Now let's get practical. Where do people actually mess this up? We're going to look at 3 super common traps that writers fall into all the time. If you can master these, your writing will instantly look more polished and professional.
Trap number 1, the first mention. It's simple. When you introduce something for the very first time, it's new to the reader, so you use a or an. I saw a movie last night. Then, once we both know which movie you're talking about, you switch to the. The movie was amazing. Easy, right? Trap 2 is a big one, especially if English isn't your first language. In English, we treat jobs and professions as countable things. You aren't just teacher as a concept, you are one teacher. So you have to say, "I am a teacher," or "she wants to be an engineer." Leaving that or an out is a huge red flag for the examiner.
And finally, we have the proper noun trap. This one can be a little tricky. Most single-name countries don't get an article. You just say Sri Lanka or Germany. But if the name is plural, like the Netherlands, or has a political title, like the United Kingdom, it needs the. The same goes for schools. You go to SLIT, but if you just say you're at the Institute, it's generic and needs that article. It's all about those tiny details. Okay, theory's over. Time for a little pop quiz. I'm about to show you a short paragraph. It has 3 article errors in it, all based on the rules we just covered. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to find them. You ready?
All right, here it is. I'll read it out loud for you. I completed Bachelor of Arts degree years ago. Now, I am visiting lecturer at ICBT campus. It is a challenging role, but I enjoy teaching. Take a second, read it over. Do you see them?
And bam, there are the fixes. You completed a degree. It's one countable thing. You are a visiting lecturer. That's the profession rule. And it is a challenging role. Again, a singular, countable noun. See how cleaning up those 3 tiny words makes the whole thing sound so much better? That's the leap to Band 7.
So let's zoom back out one last time and tie this all together. Getting that higher score isn't about finding one magic bullet. It's about a powerful combination. It's about bringing the big picture and the tiny details together. So here it is, the whole formula. You start with the macro, that 7-step roadmap to guide your overall study plan. Then you zoom into the micro, mastering those small but high-impact details, just like we did with the golden rule for articles. Success happens when that big strategy meets that tiny precision.
And that's it for this explainer. I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. Today we focused on articles. But what's the one tiny nagging error in your own writing? Is it prepositions, punctuation? Find that one little detail, master it, and you might just find the key that unlocks your next level. Thanks for joining me.